Oh, didn't see you guys over there. It's me again for the third time this evening. What's up over there? With the third very high praise between Fir and Equan right here. So the next tournament round 2 race, exciting stuff. Very close opponents in Tischel. Once again, joining me on this one.
What's up? What's up? Let's hope to see another great race.
Yeah, and I think we do have both of these runners with us here right now. Equan is busy doing some stuff right there, but I'm actually gonna get to Fir
Hello.
first because I haven't gotten a chance to talk to you, I think, personally yet. I might have. I'm not completely sure, but definitely congrats on the 101. Babe,
Thank you.
very sick
Thank
time
you.
there. How are you
Appreciate it.
feeling about today's matchup?
Um, well, we both have really good times, so it could go like either way, I guess.
Indeed.
I mean, that's what we're assuming, but I don't know if you watched Equan's last race where what was interesting. Then
Oh,
once
I
again,
heard
is
it was
potential.
interesting, but I don't know what really happened.
Yeah.
Let's
Then
just
once
say
again, it's
it was
potential
8 minutes
survival.
long.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's get to
nice.
Equan here real quick. I was right about to say. I mean, obviously your mechanics are insane. Your potential is always high, but how do you actually feel about this one today?
I don't know. I was practicing that clip for a while earlier, and I'm probably gonna take it a little bit easier on the strats that I'm doing in Wooded, so I don't end up, you know, spending 2 minutes jumping
Yeah.
around randomly.
I mean, you got it still. This one is not gonna be as easy though. Like if a mistake like this happens first, probably gonna want to run away with it. But yeah, we'll get to that as Wooded happens. But other than that, anything in particular other than Wooded, everything good to go?
Yeah, I just sort of ran through all the kingdoms before on 1.2, so I think
Yeah.
I'm good to go.
Other than Cascade, you should be fine. And obviously,
Yeah.
FMS is free, so definitely not many issues with this one. And yeah,
All
I
right.
think we are good on our side. Best of luck to you guys. Don't forget the screen caps. And you're free to leave the call to be counted down.
All right.
Then we can take this away.
All right.
Yeah. Good luck.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm already excited. I'm already excited. Oh my god. Oh my god. Someone hold me.
Yep. So this is easily the closest race so far. If we look at PBs, like if you look at PBs, these guys are 8 seconds apart. So this is the closest race of the tournament. Once again, Equan is in some like his mechanics are very insane. Usually every category he tries, every game he tries, he's pretty good in. But he obviously does a lot of practice. Fur, on the other hand, also super skilled player, practicing a lot, doing ILs all over the place. But
Yeah, and the history of these two players is interesting. Equan is a player that came to the scene a long time ago, by now, but when he came to the scene, he at least 80% he crushed the leaderboards. He was
yeah,
PVing every day, bopping people left and right. Like he quickly became like a top player like right away. I'm not sure if he was playing other categories or he's just like just that good. Definitely super talented, super smart player. Actually, the approach, his approach for the game is actually super good in my opinion. He thinks through everything, uh, and super skilled. And Fair, also, he was not known for a long time. I remember when I randomly got his stream back in the days where he had like a 107 or a 106.
mhm.
He was already super good, and a lot of people didn't know about him just because he didn't really have a really good time at that time. But he's like, super hard work. Practices a lot, takes this very seriously, and this is the result. He's a top runner. Got a 101 the other day. So yeah,
Yep.
amazing runners, both of them.
I remember him from when he had like a 105, and everybody was like, "Wait, there's this Fur guy, and his luncheon is like amazing. He's
Yeah.
like on top of the game because he does like unique strats. Obviously, I mean, Joy-Cons play a role, but at this time he was just super good, and he practiced the kingdom more than anyone else. And as you
Yeah.
said, reaped in the results with his 101 time. So he's actually top 5 in the world right now.
Yeah. So both runners getting left side. Chopper fight a bit faster for third, so we're pretty much tied.
Yeah. Equan taking the lead on the bridge as Fir did take the bonk right there. But other than that, not many differences. So nothing to worry about at all. FMS obviously coming right up.
Yeah, so in this race, more than ever, every single bonk, every little mistake, and obviously every major strat that they fail is gonna make a big difference in the result.
For sure.
So first try FMS, it's very important. They need to get it. Wooded, of course, like in every race. Sphinx clip, and not only that, like I was saying, like even like minor movement, we already saw Chaos versus Kanikama. The power of just having solid movement and consistency, difference it makes.
Interesting. That would have probably worked on Econ. He probably was playing it a bit too quick, but both of them getting it, I guess we can still call it first try. So definitely nice to see.
Yeah, so Equan did basically what Kanikama did in the last race. It
Yeah.
was really similar stuff. That backup was super quick.
Obviously, not big issues with Dino Skip. Actually, for missing it, as I was about to say, not much issues with Dino Skip on these guys.
Wow.
That's a solid backup, though. Like, just one circle, that's what you want to get if you have to back that up.
Yeah, Dino sometimes it's weird, man. Like, I don't know.
But look at Fir now, though, Tisha. Look at Fir. What he's about to do. I'm pretty sure he's about to do that. But yeah, abusing Joy-Cons once again.
I actually never saw that. I'm surprised. Is that even faster?
The reason it is fast is because when you home to the chain jump, when you capture the chain jump, you'll fly to his head because Cappy lands on the chain jump's head. And this makes it so Mario's directly on top of the chain jump.
I see.
So the capture animation is like almost no frames. So that's probably quite a bit, not quite a bit faster, but noticeably faster if you were to compare the two.
I see. Nice. I mean, Joy-Cons runner, you better abuse that. Like you have
Yeah.
that in your arsenal, that movement option, the down throw, whenever you want. So might as well just implement it whenever it's faster, especially at the level of his play. I'm pretty sure he has a down throw strat in Lake. Probably, I don't know if he does it for Luncheon somewhere. I'm not sure.
Yeah, me neither. Definitely he does do a very sick down for strat for Bowser shots.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
So,
yeah, once again,
I mean,
this is like a tool that he's exclusively available to him. Unfortunate bonk, and we've talked about bonks. They can come in very costly,
Yep.
especially there.
Bonks like there is gonna quickly like separate them in the race, but easy come, easy goes as well. So
Equan with the spin throw actual globe hit there after the chest clip. And it looked like Fur clipped in, but maybe he wasn't quite confident with it because he didn't get much height. Maybe he was scared that the same thing happened, Maybe he was scared the same thing was gonna happen to him that happened to Chaos earlier.
yeah, it looked kind of low, but it also looked like it could have worked. That taking the safe route. So
Yeah, I can respect
understandable.
it.
Yep. So sand is also like when the race is this close, sand is really important. Dram. If you miss dram, you're looking at a 5 second time loss easily. Sphinx clip. You want to get it first try. Each try is like 2 or 3 seconds you're wasting. And yeah.
And yeah,
Any
well,
kingdom with fast strats is really important in this race, for sure.
I gotta say though, Sand is kind of like Equan's playground. When I was starting to talk with him, we were talking a lot about Sand. It was still a long time ago when people weren't even thinking about sub 5s realistically. Actually, people were already thinking about sub 5s because everybody did double clip at the time, which is the fastest trade. I'm interested if Equan is gonna do it here, but his Sand was always top notch.
Yeah, no, for sure. Missing the angle on the pipe there. Usually what you want to do is you want to move the camera in a way so after grabbing the moon you can just roll into the pipe.
Equan getting capture number 1, the Rumble Room.
Nice. So yeah, Fir, see he has the camera right, so all he has to do is just roll. Doesn't have to adjust the angle. Interestingly enough, in the Rumble Room, it's actually faster to jump and throw Cappy right away, just to make Mario turn right away. This is the little optimizations that you see top runners use throughout the run, just minor stuff like that. Sometimes for people that are casual viewers or people that are just starting running the game, you might see other stuff and not realize what's actually going on. But there's tiny stuff like that, like everywhere, that we don't even have enough time to talk about it during the races.
For having some issues with that Dune Moon, we've talked. Oh, that actually looks low. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if Equan can make this dram work.
All right. So the reason why that didn't work is because he took too much time to reach the moon. So when you throw Cappy, you can hold it out by holding the button, but that has a duration, right? So to make Sandram works, you need to get to the moon before the duration expires. And
Looks good for Fir.
ooh, okay, that's actually a big mistake by Equan. I don't know if he can back that up, grabbing the bullet bill again. This might be risky.
This is super risky. I don't think he's gonna make that. He's gonna. Oh wow! Oh, what?
Okay. He
could've
actually
made
had
it
it.
work.
Yeah, this is so smart what he's doing right now though. Like he just bailed. He said, you know what? I'm not grabbing that moon. I'm just
No,
gonna grab
that's
a
obviously the
different
way
moon."
to go. He needs to get nodes at this point. So he got the crate, but Fir skipped the crate intentionally. So both of them will just get nodes at this point.
Yeah. So this gave further lead. It was a pretty major mistake by Equan, for sure. So what happened to him is he went for the moon and captured the bullet bill early. That's not something you want to do. It was still working though. Like he could have still made it. It was just a movement mistake at the end.
Equan going for double clip, so potential for him to
Yep.
save some time over Fir. Fir did get like a second or third try single clip, but Equan
Yep.
needs to clip again, and he needs to get it now. And we might see why double clip is better this particular instant, but unfortunately not getting it first try. Getting it
Alright.
second try though. So might be pretty much tight maybe actually coming out of this. Let's see when they get the bullet beam. That's interesting. That's like a live comparison again.
Yeah, I think Equan got like a third try first clip and
Yeah.
a second try second clip, so I don't think he's saving any time over Fir, and Fir was ahead of him, so I'm pretty sure Fir is gonna leave ahead San. But
I mean,
we'll
they
see.
both need to do nodes, so they are pretty much tight at this point. I mean, Equan is
You're
like
right.
3 seconds ahead. But he's definitely still good to go on the bird cycle since he got double clip
Second try.
second try.
Yeah, he got second try. He also did the new movement after a double clip, which is it's faster, so you get to the Oasis a bit earlier, and it gives you more leeway for the bird cycle for sure.
Yeah, I think he actually ended up doing it unintentionally. He tried to go into the sand pile, but it was just running out because he got double clip second try. So he just went for it, which is actually optimal, but it's risky. He got it though.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see how they do notes. There's actually a lot of ways you can do notes. Some of them are obviously faster than others. So I'm interested to see their
So-
approach.
What you see on first screen right there, that's actually a very solid cycle for single clip. The bird was very far back. That just goes to
Yeah.
show that he was very fast. You can even have more ridiculous single clip cycles, but it was still very good. So for opting for Straw was the strat. Equan going for the most optimal strat. Oof, I think he got it there.
Wow.
Falling down, but backing it up just fine.
That was still like a pretty fast backup.
Yeah.
But that's basically the risk of notes. Just missing the second tree entirely. That's basically the worst thing that can happen in notes.
Yeah.
It's a pretty safe strat. That's basically my point.
22 globe from Fir and a 25 from Equan, so 3 seconds apart after the sand. So even though Equan missed a moon, reacted well to it and only lost, I mean, he lost more time because he was getting into sand with a more comfortable lead. But that's definitely, as you said, the smart choice to just skip out on that moon. Even though it's
Yeah.
so fast, if you get it, just get nodes, you can't reach it comfortably.
I wonder what would you do if you don't grab the great moon and that happens though?
Yeah,
How
then
do you
you actually
replace
got a
that moon?
problem.
You got a problem.
You probably gotta get employees only or something in a race, which is
Yeah.
obviously the worst outcome because you need to get a checkpoint at this point and then warp back to this.
Yeah.
It's like a huge time loss.
Yeah, for sure. So, kind of a bit of luck, playing there because he was not gonna do notes, and it ended up working for him. So pretty interesting stuff. Pretty nice backup by him, and quick reaction. You need to react to that stuff really quick. In a run, he would just reset. Especially Equan. Equan is like very very hard on resets. So the fact that he reacted so quick and backed it up is really good.
So Lake is first playground, I'd say. Already showing off with that spin point at the start. Equan missed it just barely, doing like a fancy RCJ here. But
Nice.
Fir might go for this upcoming down throw strat here on the next moon.
Ooh,
Let's see if
yeah,
we
I
can
want
get
to
it.
see this. Oh, that's...
Oh, the fish was slightly out of the way. Ooh, getting the lower fish, actually interesting.
All right. That works. I'm confused on why the first throw didn't work because Cappy was really close
Yeah.
to the chip. That was weird.
Homing in this game is weird sometimes. Like you want to actually home into the main objective, but Cappy just decides, hey, let's home into a coin or something
Yeah.
you don't actually need at all. But I guess you can't blame Nintendo for that one.
Alright, so still super close, even after that mistake by Fir.
Yeah, for sure. Still, like that's how I would have pictured that race. Obviously, would it, as always, being a big one in races, but
Now, yeah, but yeah, like minor mistakes, I think especially in this race, is something that we should be pointing out. Like this is Odyssey on highest level, and tiny mistakes are actually the deciding factors for this race most likely. So, and it's also like a good opportunity to get maybe a bit more technical
yeah,
in a race like this.
no, for
Maybe
sure.
stuff that for other runners, which is not really mentioned. For runners of this caliber, I think it's cool. Angle of looking at things.
Yeah.
Because in the end, like movement is this game. Like it's literally movement and cutting corners and just being quick is literally 90% of this game. So
And we did see it on Chaos's performance in the last race. Like his run was ridiculous. It almost had no mistakes, but it was still not enough to PB. So to PB on this level, you need to play ridiculous. You need to go for all these ridiculous small little optimizations, cut the corners, get the lines, roll cancel perfectly, do RCJs, which is like roll cancel jumps, and pretty much keep your speed up the entire game, basically.
yeah. Right. So this is the moment we all be waiting for. They have a quick screen capture in the Rock Moon at the beginning that they had to
Yep.
take, and then it's all business.
Once again, these live-proof screen captures are just to assure the gameplay is being live. If you want more information, type in !SMO proof. But in general, it's just a live verification method we've chosen to be fair and live and honest.
Yep.
But yeah, heading into the big one, the race killer. Let's see how this goes.
All right. It looked bad for Phil for a moment, but he fixed the angle.
Yeah,
And both runners taking the screenshot, so nice.
Did Equan get the screenshot very early?
Yeah.
Because I might have missed. Okay, the message just disappeared. I glanced over, but it was already gone. But you caught that one double screen cap. 2 out of 2. Nice to see.
This is dead even. This is good. This is what we want to see.
And you said that it looked bad for Fir, but Equan easily catching up like 1 or 2 seconds on a pretty good rock moon there. So these small things, we said it before, matter. And also stuff that we actually usually we just look into how can they get the clip. But at this level, we almost want to focus on who gets the better out of bounds move. And obviously, Equan taking that unfortunate bonk.
Looks good for Fir. Nice. Looks good for Equan as well. Should work. Nice.
Oh, Fir.
Oof.
Okay, so he saved himself. That's the thing you
Nice.
need.
Oh my god.
Can he make the... Wow, it's
So-
actually insane that he
this
made
is
it
the
back there.
hardest part of the route. Like hands down, grabbing the moon is the hardest part of the route. It's a really short segment. It's just wall jumping, grabbing the moon, but it's definitely the hardest part. Especially the way he goes about it, where he doesn't move the camera. He's taking the fast approach, which is respectable considering he wants to go
Yeah.
fast. So I definitely understand it, but it's a super risky approach. Just for context, if he would be doing a real run, that would have been a reset most likely. That's a really big time loss for him. Having to drop down twice and then climbing back up to try again. So yeah, Equan pulling ahead a bit. He had a really clean out of bounds.
At the same time, Fir can almost consider himself lucky because actually, I mean, he probably practiced that as a backup, but it's not guaranteed that you can make it back up to that small little out of bounds spot where you can set up your jumps up to the moon. And instead, if you miss that, you'll most likely fall into deep woods or just back in bounds very far back.
Yeah, it depends on how you miss it, like for sure. It can be devastating.
But yeah, Equan grabbing, actually roll canceling into that moon very fancy.
Nice. Right, still really close, like 10 seconds, maybe a bit more apart. But yeah, like it's interesting how the route evolved, because at the beginning we were doing this route with the rock clip. So actually, out of bounds was basically the first thing that we practiced for the route, and then we discovered nut clip. So nut clip, even though it's like what basically the name of the route nowadays, is it's interesting that it actually came afterwards, and we were already like kind of warmed up on the out of bounds when we found nut
Yeah,
clip.
that just came together so magically. And now that I think of it, it just doesn't make sense that the moon is actually there. If you look at the game entirely, it almost always does a very good job of denying like sequence breaks. But this moon that we grab in the wall is supposed to be gotten with like a tank. And this tank
Right.
won't even spawn until we take down the boss that they're about to probably skip. So
Yeah.
it's just weird that the game has this moon there in this place already.
Yeah, I feel like it's something like they forgot about it, and then when they remember, they were like, "Oh, don't worry about it."
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
they
no one's
they
gonna
can't
get
even
there.
break the wall. Yeah, nobody's gonna get there. But
But
they
then
were
at the
wrong.
same time, there's also like this little small ledge out of bounds where you can just
Yeah.
stand and set up. It's just too good. Wow, Equan with the dive vault. He's actually showing off at this point.
What a madman! And he also bounced on the NPC, dropping down. So the fastest strat when you don't bounce on the NPC is you want to mash to buffer the jump, so you don't get the the falling animation when you fall really big distances. But if you can land on the NPC, you actually get a quick bounce,
Yeah.
and you don't lose the speed. So really cool stuff.
You don't need to mesh. But yeah, dive vaults, super hard mechanic. You need to throw Cappy, dive, but then pull back during the dive and then roll boost before you hit Cappy. Super rarely seen, but always looks insane if someone actually does it.
Yeah, Equan definitely one of the players with the highest skill level, I would say. He's like insanely good and flashy.
Yep. Definitely puts in the time, but
Yep.
definitely. Oh, wait, another thing is like most people know some strats, they know they're a thing, but Equan just doesn't care, just goes for them. And if they fail, he might die to like a boss or something, but overall, he will still be remembered as a flashy and skilled player because he just goes for the hard stuff. On the other side, that's still super close, though, because Fir, actually, I mean, Equan's screen seemed to have frozen there. Let's hope he doesn't get another disconnect. Had some technical difficulty last time, but managed to get back on track.
Right. So Fur got like 1935 wooded exit, and Equan's probably like a 25. I would guess. I couldn't actually
Yeah,
see.
maybe like 8 to 10 seconds difference.
Yeah. So really good times. Definitely one or two. You can definitely one or two with that, especially them. But definitely one or three for sure.
So the stream actually right now only suggests like a 3-second difference, but Equan just did drop some frames, so maybe there's like some technical syncing issues. Fur going for a semi-cloud booster, interesting, almost getting that.
So for post a bit early. Actually, like that hurts. Like it's those kind of mistakes, like I was saying earlier in Ruin. Like you don't wanna lose a second to pausing too early. It sucks. Feels bad. But what can you do?
You want to be optimal with your cutscene skips, but at the same time, if you just didn't get into the cutscene trigger yet, barely, you'll just pause and lose a bit of time.
Yeah.
And then you actually need to react because for 1 second you need to wait. What just happened? Oh, I'm in a pause. And you need to unpause and get into the cutscene.
For sure. So there was actually like a point in time. I think it was when Nicro tied world record, when world record was 105. Nicro beat that tied, and at one point in the run, he lost like 5 seconds to mashing cutscenes. Like he forgot to mash or something. It's so funny how something so stupid like that can make the difference.
The legendary 105-14, which stood like for a long time.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
uncontested. When that was gotten by Shaden, I think the second had like maybe a high 106, if even, maybe like a 107. I'm not completely sure, but he was like uncatchable at that point at least.
So yeah, I'm still wondering if Equan is not further ahead. I think we have some syncing issues because I'm pretty sure he was further ahead than Fair, and I haven't seen a mistake by him in Wooded, so I'm not sure.
No, I think this video is slowly caught up. Like right now, we are looking at around probably like 8 seconds still. But I mean, Time will
Alright.
tell. Equan is definitely ahead, no matter what,
Okay.
at the moment.
So clean loss so far by both of them. Ooh, that RZJ is sexy. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was hot.
Ripped off from the best theoretical time video, definitely hot strat. Equan actually missing the clap trigger. He needs to be careful. Did he? I think he triggered him, but he was
Wow.
about to throw Cappy towards him.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you could do that.
Oh yeah, you can. You can.
I'm learning stuff. This is great.
Yeah, for some time there was like a debate to potentially add a strat where we just dive next to him in a very good height, but it just didn't quite make it. It's still optimal to run up the slope of the stairs and then make your way
Right.
over from there because of the additional height.
Equan doing triple jump gauge. Nice.
Ooh, that was actually pretty close. Very tight there on the tree, but still got it for getting it just fine too.
Nice. Let's see if we can get back up. Equan got it. Really nice. And Fir got it. Oh my god, this race. This race right now.
Delivering
This is real.
as expected.
This is real, guys. So yeah, I mean, I want to think, Snowdrun probably the next, big, tension point. But Metro coming up definitely. There's some mistakes you can make in Metro that can be very deadly. Like we're talking about, 5 to 10 second mistakes you can make everywhere in Metro. So it's gonna be interesting.
So yeah, Equan heading up onto the start of the Night Metro, which is actually a place where he popularized a strat. I mean, we've always thought about it. There was always this big gap jump that seems fast because it's a straighter line, but at the same time, you spend a lot of time in the air.
Right.
So if you play Ultimate, you can just go to the right there. So I'm missing the jump on the railing.
Yeah, I think that the optimization that pretty much closed the deal was that now runners are spin pounding to the right. Oof, Equan made a big mistake. This is the stuff I'm talking about. Stuff that you don't expect runners of this level, mistakes that you don't expect them to make, but when they happen, they are really devastating. So
I've
just like
actually
that, Fir is
seen-
ahead.
I've actually seen him make this mistake a couple of times recently. Maybe something he needs to like clean up. I mean, it seems weird because it's such a natural thing to do. All you need to do is delay your cap bounce. But I mean, sometimes these tricks just get in your head and you're like, oh, let's not mess this one up again, and then you kind of mess it up again.
So
but actually
there-
tying.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. That's actually crazy. How is he ahead now?
Fir actually kind of missed the roll cancel into the city
Alright.
hall and had to like slowly walk back in. And then
Okay,
Equan's
I
strat
missed
for
that.
after the pylon was better too.
But yeah, back to the trampoline. Oh, we have some sync here. Oh,
Yeah.
so
That's some real sync right there.
good. So the trampoline jump that he missed. There's actually two factors you want to look into. Like,
Dude.
you can bounce on the higher part of the trampoline or the lower part. So if you bounce on the lower part, you want to delay your dive to get the extra height. If you bounce on the higher part, you don't need to delay. So you just need to react depending on where you bounce.
This is once again almost like a live comparison. We've seen like those small mistakes change up the pace. Fir did go for the crazy jump, and he made up some time with it. Like after the chest, he immediately long jumped instead of going up to the higher platform. And then he had some mistakes to actually capture the wire pre-wiggler. So every single mistake here, every single sloppy movement matters. Probably going to be able to compare wiggler cycles again this time.
Yeah.
Patterns, I guess.
And I mean, we called it at the beginning, it's gonna come down to small stuff like this. Stuff like this adds up, and that's gonna determine the winner, for sure.
So we do see the difference in wiggler patterns right here. Equan not getting the shots he wants to missing this one single one. Trying to back that up. Actually, on the same page, Fir also struggling a bit with this pattern there. So Equan still coming out ahead.
Yeah, it was pretty much a tie. Like both of them got hit. Ideally you don't want to get hit. You don't really get a refill animation because that doesn't happen with triple moons. But it's still like the lag of being hit. It's just a time loss in itself. And other than that, you want to kill the wiggler as it's moving really fast, and none of them were able to do it.
Once again, small strat difference to actually collect the multi-moon for opting for the dive jump and even for the spin pound jump, which is potentially fast if you do get a very clean spin pound.
Indeed. So again, spin pounds, usually you see them used throughout the run everywhere, and it's really good because you can buffer them. That's basically the idea. It's like you're basically getting ahead of what's coming next. You're already buffering a move, and it's really quick. It comes out really quick. So if you have a good buffer, like if you get a good buffer, it's super fast.
So let's look at School Clip. School Clip has been quite worrying today. A lot of runners have been having issues. Equan setting up, getting it instantly. First,
Nice.
well, the curse doesn't remain, and heading into the next section of the
Nice.
metro.
So Equan is always super confident about drive-by. He said, he put a lot of time into it, and he pretty much it's second nature to him. So definitely not surprised he got it. So interesting. Fir not doing camera manip for this moon. At least I didn't see it. You can actually save like 0.2, 0.3, just moving the camera preemptively so it doesn't pan during the transition. Minor optimization. Some hotness
Equan
by Equan.
trying to be super optimal with that spin throw jump strat. Not necessarily what he wants, but definitely still good. Still very barely ahead. Using a speed there. This is so close.
my
This is
God.
like a second.
This race is crazy. This race is crazy. This is amazing. Look at that. Looks like a mirrored image.
Yeah. Damn. You got a moon, indeed. So both of them obviously opting for the newer musicians route. For actually struggling to get out of city orders, so taking a minor loss. Which these minor losses, they will be so visible in these situations.
Yeah, the camera coming out of there is actually kind of annoying sometimes because you don't really see where you're going. Equan with some fancy movement to spin pan on the wiggler.
I used to do that. I'm still not sure if it's fast. It's probably not because you can just dive out of the moon with the height. But it obviously looks cooler, so who can you blame?
It's not always about speed. So Equan actually reacted super late.
Yeah,
Like he
losing time
stood there for like a
sure.
second. You can basically open the map when the screen is black entirely. So he definitely lost like an entire second just for that.
You want to be pressing minus as the screen fades out. And yeah,
Yeah.
delaying his dive there. This section is super laggy for some reason. When you like hit the trash can, your inputs don't really go off. Oh no,
Oh.
falling.
Oh, he
that
saved
back
it.
up.
Saved it. Wow. Okay.
Sick.
So he went for the spin pan. Oh no! All right, that is bad. That is bad. That's gonna put him far back. So he went for a spin pan of the garbage container, which is the fastest strat, but it's actually like super hard because you don't really see where you're going. So you need to get a really good angle, and you need to do some adjustment in the air, and you're going really fast.
Yep.
So it's really hard to miss.
You can kind of like vector onto the moon, but if you miss it, you need to. Especially air control with Mario is actually so bad once you slow down. Because especially this moon is free hanging right there, and all you can do, like once you start diving, your angle is set. You can't really change it anymore, so you need to be sure where to dive, and when you miss that, that's pretty weird in there.
Yeah, so it looked like Fir tried to do the spin
There's
pan
no
on
way
top of
he's
the
going for
tower,
that.
but he missed
Oh
it.
my god, he actually
Oh my
went
God.
for that. That's the Vinyash strat right there, so you can triple jump into this moon. That might have been some BTT from me.
I actually didn't know about that strat. I didn't know that was a thing. I am in shock and impressed.
Yeah, Vinyash posted that a while ago. There's also this other strat where you bounce off the awning and then roll boosts on top of this.
Oh yeah, that one
Metal
I saw.
thingy. But they're probably pretty close because for the other strat you need to triple jump into the moon. But definitely impressive stuff there from Equan.
Right, so Equan pulling ahead a bit, but still, anyone's game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Definitely with snow coming up. I mean, Equan is the Snowdrum is free person, but we did see him mess this up before in this race. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna go for the crazy, like no setup almost Snowdrum again, or if he's just gonna play it safe. That's probably what decides his chances of getting it first try.
Yeah, it's interesting, in races like this, like when it's so close. If the runners are actually watching the race, and if Equan knows he's ahead, do you think he would play it safe, or do you think he would still
No.
continue to go really fast?
Probably not. Like that's not the kind of player he is. You've just seen him. They were like pretty much almost tight heading into this room. I mean, he knew. If he watched the stream, he knew that Fir fell there at this moon, but still going for the triple jump straight. He could have easily bonked against the metal thingy. If he, I mean, I don't know. Like this is actually the no setup Snowdem is like a way bigger time loss
Right.
than bonking there. So if I was him, I would probably just do his setup, his setup he's known for. But yeah.
So pretty clean outside movement at Equan. Just a minor mistakes, nothing major. And Fir looking to get a really fast
triple
ship
jump.
area enter. Nice.
Equan with the chest homing over to that one. Can actually home Cappy there to open the chest earlier, so the moon is, I guess, hittable quicker. So Equan
Right.
famously going for that moon clip here.
Oh, I didn't know he did this.
That might have worked.
It looks like it.
Wait,
Oh.
what? Okay, that was weird.
Keep
It looked like it worked, but maybe it looked like it worked, but maybe he just was into the snow because yeah.
It looked like he clipped. Honestly, I don't know what happened.
I'm actually not sure if he got the capture now because I was
He
focusing
didn't.
so much. He didn't, right?
He didn't.
Yeah. Fir definitely got the capture. Equan can still back that up. He was probably focused on the moon clip, which is not a trick, but he can still get the backup in Seaside.
Yeah, we might have to remove that moon from the list now that if runners are actually like trying to moon clip there. We're trying
yeah.
the list includes moons where you don't really have to do anything, you don't have to think about anything. We're just trying to put like really easy moons for you to take the screenshot. We don't want to affect the runs in any way with this system, so we might just take it off the list.
Equan probably the only person to go for that. I mean, accurate potentially sometimes, but I mean, I guess I can see where you're coming from because this moon has the potential to save time there. You can clip through this wall and enter the subroom earlier.
Yeah, so he still has the backup moon, which is in Seaside, so he's still okay. And even then, it's only a strike.
Yeah, that's true. But still, definitely should make sure to get that one, and he's aware of it. He just responded. And both of them actually still so close. Equan just basically getting that Goomba stick as Fir enters the room. So
Yeah, like
Snowdram-
Fir is catching up in this now. Like after that moon clip mistake, and I think he bonked to Equan.
Yeah,
Fir is
entry.
getting closer. So yeah, definitely not over. Not even close to being over.
So both with some roll cancels into triple jumps to get
Nice.
over to this moon. But Snowdram, I'm very scared. I mean, I don't know if Equan is actually going to go for the no setup one, which is it's a high.
I mean,
It's actually a high reward. I don't know if you've ever looked into it, but if you don't do any setup, you can like save like 2 seconds on
Oh,
Snowdram.
for sure. I mean, he always says Snowdram is free, so I don't see why he wouldn't do it. I mean, I don't want to call him out, but
Yep. For sure.
You know?
So for entering the shop, getting the moon as Equan warps out of it, so still insanely close, and Snowdram is obviously not going to decide that because if both of them get that first try. Okay, so Equan trying to go with just a quick setup. Let's see if he can make that work.
Nice.
Nice. Still pretty fast. I mean, he had to redo, so probably not
Yep.
as optimal as he'd like to.
But Fir is also taking his time, so.
Wow, that still
man.
worked. He was like going left and right, but still made it work.
That's actually something that Stravos also does. He tries to actually vector off the bounce. He like vectors 2 times during the Snowdram, which is super interesting. It looks kind of weird if you're not used to it. But yeah, both runners getting Snowdram, so we have a race, boys. This is real as it gets.
This is as real as it gets. So Equan, the only thing in his mind for Seaside is obviously play well. He needs to get his backup capture right there to be perfectly to go. But this one is the race. Like that's probably, I mean, it's not the closest race heading into Seaside, but these guys' skill level is insanely high. This is round 2, so the stakes are high. And
Indeed.
let's see how the Seaside goes.
So Fir already got all 3 captures. Equan is missing one. The one in Seaside is at the end of the kingdom, so hopefully he remembers. We'll see. Oof. That was a Balu dive. Is that a Balu dive? That looked like a Balu dive.
Kind of. I think he was like trying to do the fast right there and dive to the right and avoid doing the wall bounce. For going for this cap return jump, probably the more efficient strat on this one.
Alright. Nothing major. Just a small mistake. He backed it up really quick. But
Looking at
it's
7
giving
seconds.
Fir more chances to catch up, Slowly, he's creeping.
He's definitely creeping. He's looking at like a 7-second difference right now, maybe something around that. And Seaside is like kind of the kingdom that makes it hard to gain those 7 seconds unless someone makes a major mistake, which is like missing nodes or fish bonking like 6 times. But Luncheon, obviously, on the other end, oof,
Alright.
it's a good one.
So I'm curious if any of them does Fir reset.
Equan is gonna do it.
I don't
Fir's
remember.
also
Also, I think Fir does it too. Yeah.
Fir was actually the first runner to edit in his runs. He's definitely gonna do it.
All right. Nice. Equan got it. So again, the way this works is, for some reason, when you spin pound and you ground pound, the flower resets entirely.
Yeah.
So you
I
see the
think the
runners
game-
doing it twice just to, get the full duration all the way to the fish.
So since you can drop the rocket flow with the ground pound, I think the game considers the rocket flow to be basically as an item for a very short amount, and Cappy picks up rocket flow. So the spin throw circles around Mario, and as you drop the flower, it picks it up again. And that's probably how it works in terms of the game.
Interesting.
But yeah, Equan heading up on, not yet, but only 2 moons to go for his backup capture. It's the one where you shake the 3 seaweeds off.
So yeah, that's the moon where he has to take the screenshot, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the one he's coming up on right now.
So hopefully he remembers. So really good Seaside by Fir. I didn't see any mistakes.
Equan getting the capture.
Nice. Equan did have a minor mistake at the beginning, so Fir gaining some time in Seaside.
Yeah. Still, from both of them, pretty solid seasons. Both with Rocket Flower Refresh. That's like the cool stuff you want to see. It's like the one major trick in this kingdom. The rest is movement and being precise. And then there's this Rocket Flower thing, which doesn't save much, but it's cool.
And both runners getting the spawn on the moon. That last moon, actually, if you don't move the camera properly, it spawns late. So you actually like end up touching it like really late, and you're gonna lose like a second there. So both runners actually being able to
Yeah.
touch it later. I mean earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
So Lanchon is gonna be big in this race. Lanchon, one of the hardest splits in the run for sure. A lot of things can go wrong. Easy to die, and even if nothing like major happens, it's a kingdom full of movement. It's like super movement intensive kingdom. So in a race as close as this, it can be the difference for sure.
Yeah, now that I think of it, Luncheon. I mean, if you do the Speward skip, then Wooded has probably more movement. But if you fight Speward, then Luncheon has actually more movement than Wooded. It probably has, with Metro, like the most amount of movement.
Yeah, for sure. Nice salt triple by Equan. Right. Fir didn't get the roll boost, but he backed it up pretty nicely.
Rolling just on top of that moon, saving some frames right there. And yeah, once again, Fir is the guy that is known for his lunch. I mean, these days it's almost Lil Curbs because he got like an insane 6-10 luncheon gold, which is absolutely ridiculous. But Fir, back in the day, his luncheon used to be the OG, very good luncheon.
Indeed. Nice roll cancel there to get into the trigger.
Getting a top edge roll cancel. And both of them fighting Speward right here. Not too much you can save time with other than that instant hit right there that both of them go for.
Shade and strat, I believe. Like many strats we still do.
Yeah.
Shaden, legendary SMO runner. If nobody, maybe people don't know him, but he used to have a record, really creative and skillful runner. Sadly, doesn't play anymore. But we still use a lot of his strats.
unlikely that people don't know. It is true though that there's for obviously Dram is like the very known name for this one strat, but Shane came up with so much stuff. Like I think the fast head strat with the backflips is his version of it. Then the way we do flower roads with the spin pound, I think, is something that he started doing. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Also the triple jump strat that both of them will probably be doing for the crate. There's actually, if you just go through the game, oh, that's Shaden's strat. Hey, that's actually Shaden's strat too.
Yeah.
So we still do a lot of this
actually
stuff.
it's actually crazy how much stuff he put into the game. Right, pretty clean secret room by both of them.
Yep, opting for pretty much the same movement so far. Equan coming up to this triple jump we've been talking about. Gets it just fine.
God. Those spin pounds were hot by Fir. Super quick.
Oh! Equan, some sloppiness right there. Trying to get the moon.
It feels like, you know, Fir slowly catching up. Like
he's creeping.
You know, inch by inch. Like bit by bit. It's getting real. So I'm curious about what strat they use for this lava capture.
I thought Equan was gonna do the roll cancel. I think he was trying. It was kind of weird. He like went for it, but then he got back. He's still gonna get the camera manipulus.
So both runners doing the same strat. Manipulus, just the fastest option. Both of them getting it. Oh my god.
First photo actually has the head and has the head on already.
Can't get more optimal than that, man.
Yeah. One thing that actually matters for these photo boosts a lot, and there's like these threads, for example, here you want to dive towards the forks to have a shorter capture animation, but sometimes you don't really think about stuff that saves time. In this instant, when you capture those lava bubbles, you want them to be as low as possible towards the lava, so you can start moving with them, because if they are super high, they need to start falling down before you move with them, so that's something you need to think about with them.
Yeah, for sure. Really clean forks by both runners.
This is so close, my god.
Certainly clip coming up. Ooh, that's a big bonk. That's a big time loss.
Fir might do it right here. I mean, he might almost tie him. It's probably going to be about turnip. The pace easily can change on this trick. Like, either Equan is going to be further ahead or Fir might catch up. He's doing the spin pound. That will not work, though.
He missed the throw, but it's gonna be interesting because Fir actually went for the faster strat, which is spin pounding and run canceling to grabbing the turnip. He was actually gonna pull ahead. Fir was actually gonna pull ahead, but he missed the throw. So really cool stuff and really close race still.
I'm very glad round 2 really delivering. I've said it so much, but yeah, round 2 is the big one right here. Every race super close so far.
Ooh, Equan missed the cycle. Wow.
And that's the one that actually, that's that one mistake that made Fir catch up here and actually take the lead. So this is ridiculous. Those little things in the end might be deciders for races like this.
I wonder what he tried to do. I wonder if he tried to spin pound or roll and he jumped instead. That was weird, but yeah. I mean, that's what it takes. I mean, we called it at the beginning. You know, small stuff like that can be the deciding factor for races like this.
Yeah, that's really true. And both of them going for very optimistic strats for this one. Fir actually managing to be ahead though after this one.
Alright, so Ruined. I don't think much can change in Ruined, to be honest.
I mean, if something changes in Ruined, it's probably over. Because these runners, if some of them were to die in Ruined, the other runner is just gonna capitalize off of this and run away with the victory. So I'm not assuming it. I mean, Equan famously taking this fight super light-headedly. He's like literally disrespecting this boss. So if someone's dying to this boss in a race, it's him. But it's really hard to die to the boss if you're when I'm doing that crazy spin pound strat there for Globe.
Is that faster? That looks fast.
It's only fast if you get like the optimal split is ridiculous. It's spin pound spin pound spin throw roll cancel jump, which is so ridiculous for like that one, not even a second movement. But if you get all of them good, you can save time.
All right, that's crazy. So yeah, you know, Ruin. I mean, sure, it's not gonna change much in the race, but like we always say, you can definitely lose like 5 seconds in ruin. You can, just a minor mistake at the beginning can mean like 2 seconds in movement,
sure.
and then the boss fight just, you just, don't ground pound as fast as possible
Yeah, for
or
sure.
something like that, and you suddenly you're losing 4 seconds.
Fir going for pretty clean movement at the start with the long jump. Equan pretty much not the exact same movement, but not losing really anything to that.
Nice ping pong roll cancel to capture the key. That saves a few frames for sure.
So ruined time. We're gonna be seeing 2 auto scrollers at the same time.
So Fir actually opening 3 hearts in the first phase. This is just personal preference. Doesn't really gain you anything. We take intentional damage in this fight just to make sure we can, capture the things as fast as possible. So runners preemptively open up the hearts just to have them available right away.
Equan actually missing that first key with his first throw. And once again, little things. Maybe 0.5 times time losses if even. But they add up and add up. And for at some point, like if Equan was to make some minor mistakes all the time, then Fir would need to do a major mistake actually to equalize it again. But obviously,
Right.
minor mistakes happen all the time. Equan only at 1 HP here. Please don't do it. That's
Oh.
actually so scary.
Oh god. And this is what I was saying, like we take this fight for granted, but I mean if you're not clean, you're losing 4 to 5 seconds. And it doesn't feel good, man. You don't want to lose that much time in a kingdom like this. Nice.
Dude, that's so
Equan.
scary. Why would he do that? Dude, he's doing it again.
He definitely likes to put up a show, and I can respect it. He's definitely that kind of guy, likes living on the edge.
Dude, he's playing with his life though. So let's actually be like, if you just stepped 1 step to the right, I mean, it's really hard to mess this up, but I can't handle it. I don't want to see this hype of a race decided to someone being too cocky and then die on top of the dragon set. But hey, it's equanimity SMB, so I'd give it to him.
That's Equan for you. Alright, so getting to Bowser's. Race super close. Shards can be. It's gonna be super important. Shards gonna be super important.
For
Boss
actually,
fights. Fir goes for the super crazy Harriet strat on the boss
Yep.
fight. And if he misses a bomb, that's like 3 to 4 seconds. So.
first Bowser's is the best in the world. No one can come close. Obviously, people can come close, but the strats that he does in Bowser's are unmatched. Like, he can get the ridiculous Bowser gold if everything works out, because he actually goes into this kingdom with 2 advantages that pretty much no one really has. One of them is the down throw strat at charts, which he does pretty consistently, and only Joy-Cons runner can do that. And the other one is the first person Harriet strat, which once again, he's really the only one that fully figured that one out, it seems like.
Yeah. It's interesting why. I mean that the Harriet strat takes probably like a second, maybe
Yep.
2. I mean it's a pretty awkward strat. I can say that for sure. But I'm surprised like no the top runners are not implementing, because they definitely go for way crazier stuff for less time. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So yeah, I think people are gonna start using it soon. I don't see why not. And
So-
Equan doing bird ram here instead
Right,
of
what to
box.
say. So that's a personal preference thing. It's time to be, currently with the clips we have, just barely faster than getting the boxes. But once again, both of these movements are not super optimized yet, like not to the very best. So they are like they're basically tied. And it's personal preference if you want to grab that bird moon or the more dodgy box spoon.
Yeah, so now it looks like Fir is super ahead of Equan, but that's because Equan already grabbed the moon.
Yep.
So further ahead in the kingdom, they're gonna equalize. Still cool to see the difference in routes in the game, for sure. Even though in any percent there's not much room for options.
We
You wanna
will be able to tell the actual pace when they both
Oof.
basically do that bird climb.
All right.
So
That was
Fir is about
close.
to
Like
do
he
it.
got dieback, but before landing, going for the dieback, he almost doesn't make it. Okay.
That was not exactly what he was going for. He still got the down throw, but usually likes to roll on top of the roof. But that almost didn't lose any time for him there. So still getting that down throw, which is actually so fast.
Right, Equan does not do dieback, but he still did a really fast shards.
Yeah,
Sure.
for sure.
Nice camera manip. Again, you want to put the camera in a way where the transition from the moon is faster. You can, in this particular case, you can save up to half a second, which is really big.
Both of them did it right here.
Yep.
So let's see. I think Fir also does this dram strat right there, this capture warp. Not doing it with the triple jump is like the only strat he could potentially still hit, but it's ridiculously hard. Getting it just
Nice.
fine.
I don't know if Equan does Bowser Drum actually. He
Does
does.
it look like it? Oh wait, interesting camera angle, yeah.
No, I can definitely understand why he puts the camera like that. And I'm gonna steal that. Oh, I really like that camera, man. That actually looks like makes it easier. At least for me, it looked like clean. So
Yeah,
let's
you will,
let's
you will
check.
kind of
Look at
exactly.
Fur. Look at Fur. He missed. Did he miss? I actually missed if he missed.
I think he got the hit, but I don't even know if he went for the first person hit. Okay, so now he's
I-
definitely trying.
I think he missed the first one. I'm really sorry. I actually didn't see.
Commentators slipping back up. Very bad commentators right here for GSA. No, man, it happens to the best of them. There's a lot of things happening here in this Bowser's. It's especially in between those two runners. This is super exotic Bowser's. But Fur definitely still showing his threat of the furry yet. So he gets the second and third hits in for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he missed because there was fire on the ground, and that only happens when you miss. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I think he went for the first-person strat on the first one. He missed, and then he just did the normal stuff to back it
Yep.
up.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Topper going well for Fur. Not many mistakes. So this if he actually was to miss that hit, that loses a lot. That loses like 5 seconds. And we'll see what this pace is when Fur get. They might be actually tied. Because Equan seemed to catch a little up when we look at just the difference between them, and Fur still needs to get that additional moon.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. First, still needs to do boxes, and Equan can just like pass freely. So we'll see how it equalizes in the end. I still think Fir is gonna be a bit ahead, but not by much. We're talking like 5 seconds, maybe not even.
Yeah. So even though he can, quote unquote, move freely, the movement that he has to do there is for some people something they don't like to do. So once again, the dodgy camera angle is the one thing that shies people away from this boxer strat. But we see it on Equan's screen here. The movement is pretty unique. Actually jumping on top of that little Bowser thing to be optimal.
Shaden
Still.
strat.
Yep. He can jump with
Nice.
this camera angle though. So actually, like a second, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so Equan definitely catched up a bit in Bowser's. Probably comes
But
down to the
Fur-
bomb in Fur, in Harriet.
For zooming ahead with that Pokyo, that was actual optimal Pokyo climbing, doing the fast strats along the wall, and also this climb. He
Nice.
actually saved like a second over Equan with that strat.
Nice. Alright, this is the moment. This is
This
the
is-
moment where everything could change.
This is ridiculous. Both heading into make literally like maybe 2 seconds apart. Fur climbing up fast, going not even for backflips, just going for that strat, but hitting the mech very quickly. Equan, very sick backflip climb, saving some time
Yeah.
on Fur there.
For sure. So, are they gonna do higher third?
That's a big one. I'm pretty sure Equan is gonna go for it. I'm pretty sure Fur is gonna go for it too. He's usually the Bowser's connoisseur. But I mean, I actually learned the fast spear hit from him, so he's definitely good on that one. It looks like he's no,
Both of them are
definitely.
going for it. Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. Alright, he missed Harriet, so Equan is ahead right now.
Equan is ahead by a lot. Fur still struggling to. Equan still needs to hit spear though.
Oh, he got
Gets the
it.
target acquired.
Target acquired.
First stream is actually kind of trying to catch up. I think he got it.
He got it. He got it.
Oh
Alright.
my.
Oh my god. It kind of sucks that we couldn't see it, but that's so hype. So
I had
third
this-
race with
come on,
double Harriet third. Oh my god. So Moon Kingdom, huh? So this is actually I think the first race where it's so close at Moon Kingdom. Moon Kingdom is actually, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a hard kingdom, but it's really hard to like optimize for some reason. You know, the movement at the beginning super crucial if you want to get a good gold. The vector at the beginning can be super awkward. The rolling actually, is something you need to look into, like the angles when you roll, dodging the enemy as you roll, and then the flower jumps and getting into the Sphinx and doing moonskip fast. You want to do moonskip actually fast.
Yeah.
Moonscape is that strat where at the beginning you just want to get through it. You don't want to think about it. You just want to say, "All right, I got Moonscape. I'm out of here." But when you get to this level, you need to actually like start optimizing even stuff like that. So it's gonna
Equan
be
doing
super.
that. Equan doing that crazy globe strat again, which probably in this case might have saved him just a tiny bit. But you usually, like, we as commentators, we're pretty deep into the community, and we know like what people are known for. For example, Equan is pretty known for his early game, especially for like Cascade. Always was known for that, and for like flashy strats. First Bowser's is always exotic and sick to watch, but actually none of them really known for Moon. There's only a few runners that actually can say they have like insane Moon times. So, for example, Nyko used to be one of them.
Nycro, Stravos, and Curbs, I would say.
Stravos and Curbs' Moon,
sure.
pretty top notch. But both of them not known for the insane moons. But it's actually gonna come down to Moon this race.
This is so good. Oh my god.
Equan, I think 6 seconds ahead heading into this Moon. So you could say it's his race to lose, but there's so much coming into Moon. For example, I know Fir does the spin throw strat at the start of the fight.
All right.
Probably a small time save.
Good vectors by Equan. Oh, that was so close by Fir. He almost misses the triple jump entirely, and he landed a bit far to the left, but he was able to land without diving, which is actually faster. You want to just land in the ground and start rolling. Because of the gravity, that's actually faster to do that.
Okay, so both of them grabbing both of these flowers. Let's see, that seems like a pretty dodgy setup. Cappy flying all over the screen, but I think Equan can still make that work safely, doing it with the backflip. Let's see how Fir approaches Moonskip.
Alright, Fir actually got Moonskip without stalling Cappy on the first wall jump, so he actually made half a second there.
And also that side flip.
Yep. Oh my god, this is so close.
Yeah. Still probably exactly 6 seconds. Pretty much exactly 6 seconds. So if Equan was to miss a Bowser phase, Fir would easily be ahead. And wow, that pause is actually big. Like, these are the things that can mess with your final time now.
And he did the same thing in Cloud. It's the second time he pauses early.
So Fir with that spin throw strat, a little bit more optimal on this.
Oh no! That's devastating.
That's
so what happened is he was too far away from Bowser's, and he tried to dive and start hitting him, but he wasn't fast enough. So that's a big time loss. Probably like I want to say 8 seconds.
Yeah, the first phase is at least a bit lenient. It kind of lets you recover. But okay. I mean, Equan still has 1 phase to go. He did get the second phase, and then there's still Escape, but it's really his race to lose at this point. He needs to either miss that third phase, which would probably tie them, or he needs to have a big mess up in the Escape section.
Equan with the swag, first person in Bowser's, taunting him.
But by the way, these are still both like ridiculously good runs, both on like easily 103 pace. Okay, can Equan get this hit? Gets it. Nice. That's important for him. So right now it's actually Pillar Room and Escape. 2D skip. I mean, if he misses 2D skip, he's probably losing. But for Fir to make all of this time back up in Escape, Equan needs to have a terrible Pillar Room. But it's still very close.
Alright, Fir finishing it up. Okay. Alright, let's see. Now it's literally Equan's race to lose, like right now. That was definitely like what he needed to pull ahead. Fir made a mistake. So it's now the ball is on Equan's court for sure.
It is. There's a lot of strats still coming up to this section. One of them is this triple jump right here. Equan playing it safe, just spacing it out nicely. You can actually miss that triple jump and you have to go all the way around. But now he's heading up into 2D, which is the one thing that could potentially mess up with his race outcome here.
All right, let's see.
Gets it just
Oh.
fine.
It's kind of close, but you know it works.
Obviously
Oh,
having to go
extra
for it. Actually, that lost him some time right there.
Yep. That's what you get, Equan.
I mean, it's gonna be very hard for him to lose that lead that he's playing with right now, and Pillars for getting to these game just fine.
Alright, so I still Equan is safe even if he doesn't get early pillar, but he still needs like a decent.
Exactly, he's safe if he doesn't get early pillar, but he can't mess up pillars entirely. These shots look solid though. These look very good. I think they all hit.
Oh my god, that was the
Yeah.
best early pillar I've seen in my life.
Yeah,
That was
they definitely
Nitro
hit.
Vita. That was Nitro Vita level. Nitro is definitely like the best runner at that, I would say. And
He used to be
lose
scarily
so quick.
consistent. So the one thing we say it all the time that can actually happen to Equan right now is getting invisible walled, which is super rare to happen. Equan almost slipping down with his rock right there.
Alright.
Think he got this one.
So
In the
Fir going
bag.
for the snipe. I don't know if he got it. I think he got it. Nice. Good snipe.
Insanely close race, probably
What a
like
race.
12 seconds apart at the end, which is literally like that one missed Bowser phase. But Equan probably ending with like a 103 or 7 or something here.
I think it was an 05. I'm not sure. First, gonna
I'm
be
not
like
sure the stream kind of froze.
yeah,
But that's it.
16. Like 10 seconds. 10 seconds difference. Crazy. Actually insane.
I mean, technically Equan didn't shoot out of the wire, so maybe Fir wins. But probably realistically, Equan made it from this wire a long time ago, so realistically Equan probably finished with the 05. That's what I was assuming.
Yeah,
GG's.
that's what it looked like. GG's. What a race, man. Oh my god. And you know, it came down to small mistakes. I mean, I don't want to say I told you guys, but I told you guys. It was crazy. But I think best race in the tournament. It was actually so close the entire time. GG's.
So apparently, Egon's net literally dying the second he shot out of the wire, which is gonna be a oh no from me. I mean, they're definitely gonna be talking about this one. I mean, we all saw Equan catch that wire, and he technically got the time that we see right there. It's gotta be figured out, nonetheless. But yeah, Fir, getting the 103.17. So
yeah,
that would be the most unlucky thing possible. He literally, that was like the last second.
So hopefully he was locally recording and he can upload the run for proof if the admins ask for it.
Yeah.
That's so unfortunate, actually.
Actually, that I can't believe that. We'd figure that one out. We obviously let you guys know about the actual outcome of this one. Equan definitely, we did see him basically capture that wire. Apparently, his net literally died as he was about to jump out the wire, but he just checked the VOD apparently, and apparently the VOD has still has the shooting out of the wire on
So
it.
yeah, guys, if you want to join the call, so we can get your thoughts, we can talk about this. But yeah, apparently the VOD actually you can see the Bowser shooting from the wire. So apparently we're good.
Yeah, for sure. So Equan still dealing with some internet issues right now, currently being on data, so he won't be able to join us on this interview right here. I don't know if Fir has time to give us some post-game thoughts. So apparently his PB has 14 seconds of time save in Moon. Imagine he got those 14 seconds right here. He would have won by 2 seconds. Fir.
Hi.
Equan.
Hello.
GG's on this one. Closest
GG's.
race so far, I think by far.
That was crazy.
That was very crazy. It would have been even more crazy if your net actually died the second you were about to shoot, but apparently your bot still caught that one. Which is what I wanted to see.
I just looked over in my OBS and I had 0 kilobytes per second. I was scared.
Yeah, for sure. Once again, Equan showing some crazy dive for some unnecessary heart attacks at Dragon. But still, Fir actually was about to get you. I think your PB has 14 seconds of time saving moon. So if you would have gotten them here, you would have actually won. What do you say about this?
That was just a dumb joke. I actually do have 14 seconds of time saving moon though.
Yeah, I know. I mean, obviously no. But still, pretty solid performance. 103, low 103 is always nice to see. What do you think were like your bigger mistakes this one?
Me or Equan?
Let's start with you, Fir.
Let me think. I was taking splits, so I can actually just look at that.
I think early game was kind of shaky, but for both, I think.
Oh yeah, wood had happened.
Right.
Oh, that's true. Yep. There was some dodginess in what is happening, and then Equan started being ahead. But yeah, Equan, interesting strat there for the Pillar Moon. Now, that was actually so weird. You could have gotten it, but then for some reason, Mario was like hugging the wall and he couldn't get back to the Pillar Moon. But pretty quick reaction to just get nodes instead, I guess. So you diminished your losses.
Because usually when I miss the bill like that and I have to go and grab it after, it's really close to me not being able to get on the pillar. So I don't actually like eject from the bill. I just let it auto eject when it breaks. Yeah. But it was a lot better that time, and I actually was gonna make it all the way to the pillar, and then I fell. So yeah,
I see.
Yeah. Still solid reaction there to just get nodes because you already got the crate moon. We were just thinking about what would you actually do if you skipped crate and then that happens. I don't even know. You probably need to get like employees only, but I mean, let's not meme too much. But nonetheless, still pretty solid stuff. Some crazy strats that Min Yash people room strat. I actually want to time that. Might come close to like some BTT level stuff. You know, some crazy dive falls and stuff, but Fir on the other side, also abusing Joy-Cons, being Fir, still a nice strength. Actually, literally our closest race we had so far, so I had a lot of fun commentating this one.
Yeah, that was race.
That was crazy.
That was great.
Definitely GG's on this one. Thank you guys so much for joining 3 races today. Super close. Round 2 keeps on delivering. It's going to be very, very insane. And we will be throwing it over to our boy GSA, who's apparently on very good pace in his 12-hour stream. Show him some love. We're going to be rating him right now. He's apparently on a very good run. So let's get hyped for this one. And don't forget to follow GSA. And see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Bye.